People in Beirut have been more than physically wounded. They're invisibly mutilated, as surely as the buildings of the city have been damaged. In 17 years as a reporter in Beirut, I've watched them change and seen the effects of a war turn them into different people. I've watched a friendly Muslim population turn to hate the West. I've watched it happen among the Palestinians, and in Egypt too. I've been a witness to that same Muslim hatred for the West in Bosnia.
شكرا يا عبد.
بأمرك يا حبيبي.
When I arrived in Lebanon in 1976, I never dreamt I would still be here today. Wars, invasions, massacres and kidnappings. I reported them all and am still surprised I didn't fall victim to them. My Lebanese colleague, Hanadi Salman, has found a Muslim Shiite woman she wants me to meet, a refugee from the south whose son was killed fighting the Israelis. How often have I seen these pictures of dead young men?
صارت إسرائيل صارت ببلدنا يجوا على الوادي بدهم يفوتوا يناظروا عليهم بالناظور هاي إنه فات دباباتها تفتل علينا عم تضرب أبى نصور أبيك صورة يا أمي قلت له ليش يعني كيف الصورة كانوا بدك تروح على مطرح قال لي لا يا ما بديش أروح على مطرح بس جاي على بالي تصور أنا وياك عم جبت فيلم وقاعدين بالجنينة هيك صورنا صورة وقال لي خلص ما بدي منك شيء صورت هالصورة عليك كان فايق بالله حامل حاله ورايا عم بيقولوا بوجه الصبح اللي بيقولوا لابو نبيل انه يا ابو نبيل ابنك مع الفرقة اللي راحت قالوا لا ابني جوا قالوا لا فتنا دورنا عليه ما لقيناه لقينيه رايح اللي بيزعوا بيقولوا في سمير وفلان وفلانة استشهدوا تحت بالوادي.
But he was a member of the Hezbollah, I think, wasn't he?
بس كان بحزب الله مش هيك؟
يعني كان بالمخفي ما كان معنا خبر نحن ما كان يقلنا انه هيك بس نشوفه نقحم نخبيه يجي معنا ما نحن ما نعرف فيه هيك يعني ما عرفنا الا بالاخر عقب ما راح يعني قالنا هيك.
Martyrs, their mothers always call them, gone to paradise, they fondly believe. Martyrdom, paradise, death. The Hezbollah, the fiercest enemy of Israel and America in the region, believe in all three. How familiar these slogans have become to me. The Independent is the only British newspaper with a staff reporter in Lebanon, and I'm based here as their Middle East correspondent.
From Robert Fisk, Beirut, the slogans were familiar, point. Death to America, point. Death to Israel, point. Death to, quote, the American Zionist plot, unquote, point. But echoing yesterday...
Living here has allowed me to see Lebanon as others have not, from close up, on the very edge of events that have shaped the history of the region. Why have the Muslims of Lebanon shown such anger towards the West? Journalists are criticised for asking questions like this, especially when the world has been told there's going to be peace in the Middle East. And it's not always easy to understand the answers. Truth is that all sides in the Middle East conflict are guilty of lies, treachery and deceit. But if you want to understand how so many Muslims came to hate the West, it's not enough to listen to the slogans of the Hezbollah. The Hezbollah have two allies, Iran, which gives them support and money, and Syria, which has 35,000 soldiers in Lebanon. But to see Iran's influence, you must travel across this damaged country and drive the 2 hours to Baalbek. For many years, almost the only Westerners to come to Baalbek were the British and American hostages imprisoned here. All other Westerners were treated as potential spies for Israel, whose air force was trying to locate Hezbollah targets in the town. Ayatollah Khomeini and his Islamic revolution in Iran were the Hezbollah's inspiration. I sometimes wonder if the willingness of Iranians to die for their faith didn't amount to a fascination with death, something they passed on to the Lebanese Shiites. Black flags and mourning symbolize not just this commemoration of the Ayatollah's death, but the Hezbollah's war of resistance against Israel. A war that goes on despite the PLO's peace agreement with Israel. The Iranians sent Revolutionary Guards here to Baalbek. They trained the Lebanese militia. But it all started with Israel's invasion of Lebanon in 1982.